What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another First Descendant video. So I got a priority guide today on some weapons, mods, and Descendant mods you should be leveling up as quickly as possible in the First Descendant. A lot of people have been having issues getting to the hard mode Steel Path. I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks I can today as far as upgrading weapons and Descendants on getting past these high-level boss fights. Yeah, it's not as hard as you'd think, but also if you haven't played games like Warframe and Destiny before, you might not know a lot of the things that are going into this. So let's get right into the tips and tricks today. But before we do, make sure you're still this channel. We do daily video uploads. I'll also be on the live stream after this, grinding out the First Descendant, so come on and stop by the live stream channel if you'd like to. And yeah, I really appreciate all the support recently, guys. It really means a lot. Alright, so as far as the priority list on what to level up as you're going through the story mode in the First Descendant, one of the big things is going to be your making sure you're able to do enough damage. So some of the big DPS like roadblocks in the story mode of the First Descendant are going to be Dead Bride, Devourer, and Pyromaniac boss fights. Mainly the Pyromaniac boss fight. So if we take one of these fights for example, we want to click on it and see what the actual situation is here. So if we look at what Pyromaniac is, they show you what Pyromaniac is weak to. So as we can see right here, the resistance of Pyromaniac, it is not very resistant to cold damage. It is very strong against fire damage, though. So if we want to get past this DPS roadblock of the Pyromaniac, we need to level up cold mods for our weapons, because our weapons need to be doing cold damage against this boss. It's actually called chill damage. Additionally, since this guy does so much fire damage with his hits, the devs recommend you have 2100 fire resistance to fight this guy. So if we want to fight the Pyromaniac, we need to be setting ourselves up for success. So we look at our loadout and our gear. As far as our Descendant build, the mods we have on here, I've actually made a resist build just for this. So we look at what we have here. We have Heat Antibody mod leveled up to level, looks like level 4. So you don't need to level these things all the way up, but you do want to get them a couple levels in there at least. They said at least 2,000 heat resist. I've got probably like 3,000, 5,000 heat resist. So as far as important mods level up, some of your top priority mods are going to be, first off, the sub-attack mods. These mods give you more mod capacity on your build. As you can see right here, as the enhancement level increases, maximum module capacity increases. So this could be one of your high priorities here, leveling up a sub-attack mod. Melee mod, whatever you want to call it. You search sub-attack, it should come up. Either way, you got like short swords, your sub-attack mod, you got shock punch, kicking, tonfa. There's plenty of them. Whatever one you have, you can also use a grappling hook. Augment mod here instead is a separate, different type of aura mod. So yeah, really high priority, a mod that increases your overall mod capacity on your Descendant. If you're looking to do specific boss fights, mods that increase your resistance to that specific type of element. So there's the all resist one, the polygenic antibody, and there's also the specific elements. So for example, heat antibody for heat. If you just search antibody, you'll see if you have the mod. If you don't have any of these mods, you can check where these mods drop it in the journal in this game. So, for example, for electric bosses, I have this one level like 10, 2600 electric resist, 1600 tox resist. This stuff makes you take a lot less damage from these bosses. And additionally, I would say level up the increased HP mod a couple levels at least. This gives you thousands of more HP, lets you survive and have a little bit more wiggle room in these fights to not die instantly. So yeah. Shock Punch mod for increased capacity, increased HP for more not dying, and also we've got heat resistance depending on which boss you're fighting. So for example, if I was fighting an electric boss, I would take this one off, I'd put the electric one back on, even though it's more of my capacity, so I can't put it back on really, and then I would just go on with my day. Like, it's all you need to do really is make it where you are not dying in these fights. The big thing about these fights is doing gun damage on them. A lot of time, if I'm playing buddy, my abilities are not going to be the main focus here. My guns will be the main focus here, and not dying. So yeah, big priority HP and MP increase, and resistances for a boss you're fighting. Now, as far as the weapon mods, these are very important too. But let's take the exact same example of the Pyromaniac. If we were trying to prepare for Pyromaniac, what would we do? Well, if you've played Warframe before, you might remember these types of mods. This one's called Rifling Reinforcement. Firearm attack increased by 20%. That's like Serration from Warframe. Increased base damage. Increased firearm base damage. So that's good. You really want these. Now here's the thing. People are like, oh hey Gaz, you have to have a rifling reinforcement for every weapon. No, you don't actually. You need to have one for every weapon type. So we look right here. We have rifling reinforcement for general rounds. If I switch to my other weapon, my rocket launcher here, look at that. This rifling reinforcement is like twice the level. Why is that? Because this is a high-powered rounds rifling reinforcement. And I wanted to max my rocket launcher rifling reinforcement. So you have to have a rifling reinforcement for every weapon type. So it's a lot of endo and a lot of credits, guys. I'll have an endo farming guide in the future. But basically, yeah, just go around and the defense missions don't drop Kuiper shards anymore. They've made it where that doesn't happen. You can do like normal missions like... Honestly, when you unlock the Steel Path in like hard mode, they drop a lot more endo and Kuiper shards there, so just wait for the Steel Path. But as you're grinding through normal path missions, just like grab every Kuiper shard you see. Only level up essential mods like Serration, and also, like I said earlier, that guy's weak to cold. So we want to make sure we have a cold mod on here. So let's see, I think it's called Chill in this game. So yeah, if we were trying to fight Pyromaniac, I would take this Toxin mod off, Toxic Enhancement, because we don't want the element, we want the element of cold. We throw on Chill Enhancement. Now see how it's like level 0? You want a couple levels on that for sure. I'd probably level this to like level like 4 or 5. But funny enough, I think that my my weapon actually has a built-in element. Yeah, so this thing has built-in ice attack on it already because I rolled this weapon. You could actually do that too. If you're having trouble with a boss in this game and you're like, okay, I don't have the mod for cold for this boss. I can't fight Pyromaniac properly because I don't have the cold mod for pistols or for sniper rifles or whatever weapon you're trying to use. If you are having issues with that, you can technically re-roll your weapons to get base elementals on. It's going to be a last resort for a lot of people, but if you have, like, let's say you're fighting Pyromaniac and your weapon is, like, built-in fire, you might want to re-roll it because fire is not going against Pyromaniac at all. So, look at what we have right here. So, for example, this one's got chill damage on it. It's got firearm crit damage on it. This one's got chill. This one's got toxic. Okay, so if I was having toxic, I could re-roll this technically to something else. Damage to Colossus, very good for extra damage. And in general, for weapons, when you're fighting a Colossus, guys, try not to have two of the same weapon ammo type equipped. So, for example, if I had 2 general round weapons equipped, not only would they not be doing much damage because general rounds are kind of low damage numbers, but I'd run out of ammo very quickly. So, ideally, you have one of each weapon type. So, like, an impact round, a general round, and maybe a special round. Rocket launchers aren't the best in boss fights, but they can get the job done. So, yeah, main weapons level up. Just a crash course real quick just to remind you guys. Base damage mods for weapons that you're using, so rifling reinforcement for every weapon type. Base elemental mods, so chill enhancement for cold, toxic enhancement for poison, etc., etc. Mod capacity increasing mods for your Descendant, such as shock punch and kick and on stuff like that, giving you increased mod capacity even though you're not using a reactor. Resistance mods for the element you're fighting against in the boss fight. And then beyond that, it's really up to you guys. It's going to be more specific to the exact frame or Descendant you're playing. But yeah, going over here, I would say don't max out every mod. You can get away with killing Hangman with like a level like 3 or 4 of this, but make sure you don't go over mod capacity. Yeah, level 3 would be totally fine for doing Hangman, or for Pyromaniac, because he's really, once you know what to do, it's just more like an execution of mechanics. You have to dodge the chains. You have to not die to trash it. You have to not die to his flamethrower. If you could just constantly shoot him, it shouldn't be impossible like some people feel like it is, especially if you set yourself up for success with increased damage and stuff like that. So, okay, here's the thing though. Okay, Gaz, you said base damage and elementals. That's pretty boring. Is there anything else that's more exciting than that? There are crit mods in this game, but the problem is some weapons in this game have really bad crit. You look at this thing right now, the Tamer, the gun I've been using a lot, 10% base crit chance, 1.6% crit damage. 10% crit chance is not really worth increasing. If we put on every mod in the game, we'd be at like 35% crit chance probably. That is not worth it. I would say go into other modifiers like fire rate, weak point damage. Even weak point damage can be very nice. I just have a little bit on here. It increases how much weak point multipliers on the headshots and stuff like that, or like not even headshots, but like weak point shots. So you can throw on some reload speed even for more uptime. When a weapon has not that much crit, the exact opposite. Nazystra's Devotion has 36% crit chance at base. So we could probably get over 100% crit chance with a fully crit modded out weapon. But the problem is, too, we don't have the capacity on it because reactors are $20 in this game. I've got 1 capacity left. So yeah, I've ended up putting on a reload mod instead of a crit chance mod because there's just not enough capacity. So if I ever get another reactor I want to put on this thing, I might do it. But yeah, a lot of restrictions in this game, guys, will come down to capacity issues. But I'm telling you right now, you can beat all the base mode bosses with rifling reinforcement, a base element, and maybe like 1 or 2 okay mods like fire rate and reload speed after that. They are not hard to do DPS check wise if you have somewhat competent gear. It's more execution most of the time. So, Hope you guys found this video fun, helpful. Just a priority list for must level up mods. Now there's more too that I'm not doing. Of course, there's more specific things. Like for a nuking build for Bunny, you'd probably want like, you know, skill, crit, power, strength, all this kind of good stuff. But for like, you know, just getting through the story, things like HP increase and resistances are very important. Defense increase is good too, but that's another big chunk of endo not everyone's gonna want to drop on it. So really up to you guys. I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you on stream very soon. Hope you're enjoying the first Ascendant. New Warframe videos will be back soon, guys. Don't worry. Just having a little bit of a vacation here while we're waiting for 1999 info, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.